Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Reaper Book Club live chat for The Fire on Memory Lane by Felix I.D. DeMiro. This is a novella, and it was available on KU. And yeah, I feel like I have a lot to say. I know Lexi has a lot to say. And if you... Oh yeah, Monica knows. I actually saw Monica's rating on Goodreads today. But yeah. So I will put up a thing. Spoilers will happen pretty quickly into this chat because it is a novella. So we tend to get to those very quickly. But first, let me drop an emoji if you read it or did not read it. And yeah, I have some questions typed out for everybody, and we're going to look at one of my friends' reviews from Instagram. And yeah, I'll hand it over to Lexi to say the synopsis. Oh, go ahead.
We're following this man, Connor, and he recently has lost like everything in his life. His son has died, and we don't really know how, but we know that he caused it. And then his wife and daughter have just left him, and he's very down on his luck and doesn't really know how to move on. And then an opportunity arises for him to kind of relive his memories, and we are watching that happen.
Yeah. How did you read it? You read it on KU?
Yep, I read it in my Kindle.
So I had the physical copy, and I still ended up reading it on KU. It's just like, it's nothing to this copy or anything, but I was just like, I don't know. I was reading it at night, and I like to read on my Kindle a lot at night. So yeah, but the cover is pretty cool. And yeah, I think it covers what goes on in this book.
Yep.
Okay, so it looks like everybody who's here has read it. And yeah, exactly. Hi, Cool Gamer. So I'm gonna put a banner up for Boilers. I'm gonna try to ticket this, so yeah. I guess we'll start off with favorite part. What was your favorite part of this story?
The part where the man in the fedora he's learning about what this fedora man like has to offer. Like seeing him not like walk memory lane, but like the initial setup. That's it.
I think that's one of my favorite parts too, is how it was set up. And then the bathroom scene was one of my favorite parts, just because I'm a weirdo like that, and I wasn't expecting it. And yeah, and I wanted to ask another question, but I guess we should do ratings first. So, what was everybody's rating, or where you think you're gonna land? I know you just finished it.
Oh, I have my rating. 1 star.
1 star.
1.
I'm at like 3 stars.
In theory, the concept is really good, but I hated this man.
Oh yeah, yeah, and that's my
like not in a way that I thought was fun.
Yeah, he was awful, and I think that's one of the big themes of this is like, did he deserve more to happen to him, or did he definitely deserved this? Well, I thought what happens to him, but did he deserve to suffer more, I guess, is like my whole thing. Yeah, I wanted a little bit more than that. That's why it's 3 stars. Hi, Alicia. I missed the beginning, but the end was favorite part. Yeah, the end is pretty good. Hello, I didn't get to the book, but I wanted to see what you guys thought because it did sound interesting. It is very interesting. It reminded me of like a Twilight Zone episode or like an Outer Limits or Tales from the Crypt Keeper episode of like this guy. Well, we didn't know how bad he was until like the middle, I feel like because you're just getting like, oh, he's going through a bad time, like he lost a kid and now he's trying to see his family before they move away, and you're like, oh, I feel kind of bad for him, and then you like just learn more and you're like, oh my gosh, you're horrible, and like he's just a horrible person.
Yeah, my thing was it opens with him being like, I threw a temper tantrum. And then like his temper tantrum is him smashing his head on the wall and like punching things and all this stuff. And I'm like, I immediately hate this man.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care anything that happens to him. I don't feel bad because like I was so angry from the beginning.
He was like, I'm mad. I like that he has to forever live in his hell. Yeah.
I do like that.
Yeah, and it's like, what else could be like more torturous for him?
Yeah, here's the thing. One, this is likely going to end up in my worst books of the year list. But 1 star doesn't mean it's like I didn't like it. Like 1 star is not that it was like completely atrocious and I hated everything, but I mostly didn't like all of it.
Well, you finished it, so that's good. You didn't.
I wanted to in the bathroom scene.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So it was embarrassing. Not that I was embarrassed for him, but
I liked everybody's reaction. They're just like screaming. They're just like screaming out the top of their heads. 3 stars. Definitely didn't love it, but this man was terrible. He was. Connor is the worst. 3 stars. I really thought there would be more repercussions to his decisions. Yeah. I think my favorite part was his brother trying to show up for him. Oh, yeah, that was cute. I didn't get to this one, but I'm just even. Hi, Christine. The bathroom scene made me so uncomfortable on behalf of the girl. I know, I felt so bad for her in there, and then like everybody just seeing it, like, and like I wonder, did he say like there was sounds? I know he said like it was bent crooked or whatever. Like
he was grunting and
yeah,
moaning and saying
and slapping. It was like slapping, and then like his penis broke or something.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my gosh. That was one of my favorite scenes though. Yes. So I do have okay, yeah, your least favorite part was the tantrum tantrum.
It was just like set the tone for this book is gonna be this man who I hate. Yeah. Like I mean, my least favorite part was that all of his memories were just sex.
Yeah, when it turned that way too, I was like, here we go. I wrote down the beginning of it. When he's dreaming, having the dream of the Livingstone guy, the fedora guy, and stuff, and he got mad when he woke up because he was like, you sold me something in my dream. I don't remember this. Or now I was like, this person is so gone already. Like, he is literally going to call a company and be like, you sold me something in my dream. Like, that's not even, like, that's the most insane thing you could say. And it's like right off the bat. So that's when I kind of knew this character was like off his hinges a little bit, other than the tantrum. And oh yeah, in the author's note, it does say like there's going to be like sexy, explicit sex and stuff in it. Like all the triggers are in the front, which I like. Yeah, I'd say my least favorite part. Because I did like that bathroom scene because it's just so ridiculous. I guess it's just him like staying like he kept taking it and like going into his memories and stuff. Like it was kept repeating, and while like everything just rotted around him, I was like all the fridge stuff. I was like, oh, that's so gross. Ooh.
Sorry, our food was supposed to get here before the thing, and it just got here. Adam is trying to be quiet, but
Oh, it's okay. What did you get?
We got Arby's.
Ooh, I love their fries.
Mm-hmm.
So good. He was fully having his moment for all to see. Yeah. And this, I guess the sex parts too, like him just going to the sex parts. I was like,
Yeah, that was just like, it was so annoying to me because he was like on this date with this woman who he had previously been with, and like he's like, oh, she's so ugly and she's old and she's saggy, and like he was just like, I'm gonna go in the bathroom and like relive this old memory because like I hate how she looks now. And I'm like, I hate you.
yeah,
I hate you.
He's a piece of shit. Yeah. But I feel like it didn't come across as the author being sexist himself. I think he was writing like a really terrible character. Like, because sometimes you can see it in writing too with men, especially. You're like, oh yeah, you're just being sexist. It's like, no, he was making his point very clear. Like he was just terrible.
Yeah.
He was just very vulgar with all his thoughts. Yeah. And they were being nostalgic at the table too. They were talking about old times, and then like he's like, oh wait, I want to think about like sex. Like,
yeah.
So
It's
rude.
so frustrating.
I should have put these in order. Yeah, okay. So is Connor the worst character you read this year? Like a character you hated?
Probably. Yeah.
I think so for me, and I feel like I've read some like depraved stuff already too. So
the thing is, like, he wasn't written in a way that I like had fun hating him. It was just I hated everything, and I was like, this is a book written by a man, because I feel like even if a woman was writing this, it would still feel different.
Oh yeah.
And like, yes, it is a man writing a man, but like I just felt that. Not that I thought the character or that the author was like saying that these are good things, but it's still, I'm just like, oh, I just hate it. I hate it so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's also go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna pull up Monica's comment.
Oh. It was just frustrating for me too, because like whenever he was in his like dream initially, like being introduced to this concept, I was like, this could be 5 stars. Because like I was really annoyed with him at the very beginning, just like being like, oh yeah, I've been like throwing a temper tantrum, and then he was just like being aggressive. But then I was like, I can get over that. But then all of his memories were just like the worst. I took a note on my thing. I don't know how to see it. But I took a note on my Kindle, and I said, why did he give his daughter a stripper name? And then you find out it's because that's all he cares about.
Yep. Yep. He was like cheating on his wife and like, yeah, a total scumbag. Yeah. Just one of those. And the way he set up too, it's like he was like a football star and stuff too back in the day. And then like he got married and then was like, yeah.
And I think
that the daughter's name was foreshadowing.
Yeah, I literally was like, why would you name your daughter Cherry?
I was thinking that too. I thought it was so weird.
But I was like, this is a stripper name. And then I think my issue is not all of his dumb sex memories. It was the fact that that's all it was.
Yeah, or like him being very goofy as a 10-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
And like trying to stay up all night as a 10-year-old. And I'm like, really, there's nothing else, like a concert or something? Like, I
Yeah.
don't know, like what is going on?
Yeah. I don't know.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah, the character in Beware is the Richard Lehman book. He was
Yeah.
like a serial killer guy who was invisible, so he kept like being horrible. But that whole book is just really bad because you're told the same thing like 4 times. That happens, and then it ends up being something really, really stupid at the end of it. It's like, yeah, I don't know. Connor is very neck and neck with the Beware character for me. I feel like, yeah, I feel like they're almost even though that guy was a serial killer and Connor wasn't a serial killer, but he was still like,
I would have preferred
horrible.
him to be a serial killer. It would have been more interesting. There was like nothing that kept my attention because it was just there was no variety. It was all boring. I needed stuff in between.
Women authors tend to write men more terrible. I was just thinking that the other day. Yeah, because they're honest now. Literally so many strippers. The fact that he became a coach and then forced that life onto the players, though, too. Yeah. Yep. It's like you never know who somebody is, too, because you wouldn't think like his brother's like, oh, he's just going through a tough time. But like, I don't think his brother underneath it knew of his like trashiness, his like real trashiness. Hi, Melissa. Sex memories would be fine if there were other ones in between to give him more personality. Like we see in his personality aggressively horny.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like old too, right? He's like middle aged. Well, like not old, but he like the way they explain him, he's like heavier and like saggy and stuff. And I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, it's just frustrating that is like also the like connotation with him, like him being overweight makes him gross and like all of that stuff. Like I hated that whole scene before the bathroom situation where he was just like thinking about how like gross he was and how gross she was because like they were both older and like heavier than they used to be and all of this stuff. There was also a comment I did not like about like when they were playing spin the bottle about how he like wanted to, I think it said he wanted to spin the exotic looking black chick, and I was like, I hate that, because then he's like, I just want that to happen to cause issues, and I'm like,
is his character black?
I don't know.
Felix ID DeMero is black.
Okay.
So
it was just like exotic looking, and it just like bothered me.
I know he talked about like I think it was Rebecca's or the woman he was being set up with. How Lindsay's skin attracted attention or something, like when she walked into the restaurant or something. And I was like, what? What does that mean?
I don't remember character descriptions, so I believe it.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Never described as being black. Yeah. I don't know. I don't even know if what I pictured him as.
I
just pictured him as a blob.
I don't picture things when I read, so like any sort of character descriptions I forget immediately.
Well, you pictured the guy in the fedora because he was explained as wearing a fedora.
I only pictured the fedora.
Only the fedora floating.
I was like, you can't trust a man in a fedora.
So I was going to say, are there like any other recommendations for this book that actually does it well? And I couldn't really think of any. Or the only thing like I could think of is like Twilight Zone or like Outer Limits or like those kind of stories about the only Twilight Zone episode I could really think of too was like the gambling one. Where the guy like wants to gamble forever and then he ends up having a heart attack but like being able to gamble or something forever. I don't know, but he was like stressed about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I've read any that are like reliving your memories.
Yeah. And it's kind of
It's
like
such a cool concept. Like it could have been done so well. So like I liked the concept and I did like the end, but like I hated the rest of it so much. That's why it's 1 star. It's not like the whole thing. But yeah, I don't know. It could have been so good. And it has a 4.22 average rating.
I saw it has a lot of 5 stars on it.
I question these people.
Well, I'll pull up my friend's review of it in a
Yes.
minute. I don't picture people with any physical description, so I can like I'll picture like scenes and stuff, but like I can't the people unless they're described a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The only time I remember is if it like is said so often because it's a plot device.
Yeah, like in our layman book, it's like, and her rump was 20 inches. Or no. It's Like a Wonderful Life, but in reverse. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. Oh, yeah, because he goes back, or he sees like his town without him. Yeah, that is a good one.
Scrooge too?
And Scrooge, but that's like going the ghost of the past or whatever.
Yeah, there's the fairy ghosts. But yeah, I wish I had a recommendation for this done in a way that I liked.
Yeah, I'm like at a loss too. I was trying to think of one earlier, book wise, and I was like, why can't I think of any? I feel like I've read stuff like it before. I feel like there's a story like this, like in Books of Blood by Clive Barker, but I just can't like think of it. I'll have to get out my copy and see. But yeah, let me pull out my friend's review. So my friend Rose on Instagram, she does these like awesome edits, and so cool. Yeah, her pictures are like awesome. I know this is probably really small, but let me read it. I wish I could like zoom in. I can't. So this is my first time reading this author, and let me just say I loved it so much. It's wonderfully written with fleshed out characters that feel like real people and made my reading experience all the more immersive. I was on an emotional roller coaster ride the whole time as I felt Connor's pain and his family's anger and worry. This could have been an amazing episode of The Twilight Zone. The idea of someone offering the choice to live some of your fondest memories all over again is a fascinating premise, and the ease with which the deal is made should have been a warning to Connor, but he didn't think twice about it. You get to know Connor more through his memories, and at the end, it makes you contemplate whether he deserved what was coming for him or not. It certainly worth a read because it's very thought-provoking and a story I will remember for a very long time. I urge you to read this novella if you're looking for an unsettling horror tale that features a supernatural being and centers around family and the times that were lost through time. It's definitely one of my favorite books this year, and I have already started another book by this author. But she is also like a hardcore Twilight Zone like stan. Like, so anything that's like Twilight Zone-esque for her, she's going to love.
Honestly, the concept, I was obsessed with it. It's just
I
like I just needed more from his memories.
yeah, I wanted the vial, like I wanted like his brother to find it or something. And
Mhm.
then like do his brother do it. Just be like or be like confronted with the Fedora man or something.
Mhm.
So cuz it makes it very like vague to like was this even real or like real to the
Mhm.
point of like it actually happening because his like eyes did turn different colors because Lindsay said his eyes were different color when she
Yeah,
saw him
she's
in
like,
the
for a brief moment, I was like, are his eyes blue? So, yeah, but then also, like, they said they couldn't find
the
the
box.
vials. So, like,
Yeah,
I don't know. That part was interesting.
yeah, I
The
wanted
whole book
that.
was not a 1 star for me.
I did read my other friend's review was 1 star, and it's very very long. I'm not going to read it, but it she hits on everything in it, like as and she's like he was like a neglectful father, and then for him to
Mhm.
care so much, like, dude, you're already a neglectful father, and you kill
Yeah.
one of your kids and dead because of it. And
Mhm.
like, why do you care if his ashes are being taken or something? So I thought that was a really good point too. But yeah,
Mhm.
she went really deep. Like, it's a very long 1 star. I love this. I love when they're like
It's so
root pages.
yeah. It's frustrating to me, and I think part of the reason I hated it so much is because it had so much potential for me. So then the fact that it wasn't living up to that, I was angry. Why was there a picture of I'm assuming Connor holding boobs? Why was that in there? I was like, go away. It's just such a man book. It's such a man book.
It was, yeah. Maybe I'm just like so numb to it now, like because of Layman. Being
It just makes me angry every time I read it.
lame.
Like I don't I don't know. It's just it's just annoying to me.
It's like a teenage boy book.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, that I feel like that was a total Layman part.
I
And
literally sent a picture to Monica. I said, "Why is this in here?"
why wouldn't it be in there? Yeah. I wonder if I can find it in here.
It's around 78%.
Mm-mm-mm. Yep. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, what? Okay.
Yeah. And then on the Kindle, that's like you're reading and then it just changes and that's the only thing.
Oh no. My brother literally just came in the chat when I showed
Oh, that's
you
your
have to go.
brother?
You have to go away, Joey.
At least it's
Um,
not your like niece and nephew.
yes, yes, I'm glad you're not Tay. Um, yeah, it's like artistic too. No, I like man books, so that didn't bother me. I just feel like I'm numb to man explaining books now because I've been Richard Laymanized, if that's a thing.
See,
Aw.
he's proving my point a little bit.
Aw, thanks, Joey.
That's so funny. That's hilarious. I
Um,
just I just by a man book, I don't mean a book written by a man. I mean a book that the whole point is that they want to talk about sex.
yeah. So this leaves one of the most important questions.
If at this moment in my life, no. But like maybe if I was like so down on my luck and like nothing was going right for years and all of this stuff. I mean, he caused a lot of it, but like, I don't know. Right now, no.
I was trying to think of like a memory that was like so good that I would like to
Yeah, I don't
go
really know if I
to.
have.
Yeah, and like as I said before, like maybe like the only thing I could think of were like concerts or shows and stuff I've been to. I'm like those were like really fun, like back in the day. But yeah, like I was like, maybe when I went to Europe, and I was like, actually, not all of that was great. Like that's another thing. Like there's like sides to it, and also your memory gets very skewed as the older you get. So people remember things totally differently than it actually happened.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't think I would either. But it does make me think of actually Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, which is about I don't know if you've seen that movie, but it's like after a bad breakup or something, people go and get their memories erased of that person.
Oh, interesting.
It's like they go in and they just like connect the dots, and it's goofy sci-fi. It's like more of a love story, but it kind of reminds me of that, but it's like opposite. It's like getting rid of those memories. But Jim Carrey in it, he decided he's reliving those memories because he's seeing them go of the girlfriend, and he's like, wait, I changed my mind. I don't want to or have her erased or whatever. It's very cute because they both get it done, and then they like end up finding each other again, and they're just like weirded out. They're like, what's going on? And they're like, oh my gosh, like, and they find out that they both had this procedure done, and they're like, well, we're just gonna fucking hate each other. So like, why are we gonna continue with this? And they're like, I guess because we love each other, like question mark. Like it's very cute. It's a cute artistic movie, I feel like. I already said this. Hell no, you wouldn't do it. I don't think I
we
would
also
either.
have the knowledge of what happens afterwards. So I feel like if you were in his position, like when everything in his life was terrible and he just wanted to be happy again, then like I could see how people would do that. But I still don't know if I would get, I mean, in theory, I won't get to that point where I would even want to do that, but like,
maybe like if you're like elderly and like immobile or something, like, and you don't have anything else to do. I don't know.
Yeah, but like that. Also knowing the ending, like absolutely not.
But that was for Connor.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and he was already crazy. He was already out of it and delusional and evil.
Monica wants to try it.
I know. I am thinking of somebody else who's very nostalgic that would do it. I'm such a nostalgic person, and so I feel like I would want to try it, but knowing what I know, I don't think I would. I think I need another example of like a good person doing it to see what happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Kelsey would totally do it.
I can see that, yeah.
I think I will be skipping the book. Go. Yeah, it is like it's like a Twilight Zone episode, but like hardcore. Drugs are bad, Monica. And this one changes your eyes. Oh, go ahead. And I was like, this one changes your eyes, so people know.
Yeah. I think you should tell Amy about the bathroom scene.
Oh, so there's a scene where he's set up on like a blind date, I guess, with his brother, or not a blind date. He knows this woman from high school, and he's being disgusting and like, oh, she looks gross now, but she was hot back in the day, and we hooked up in high school. So let me go into the bathroom and do the drops and remember her. But he like ends up. It's weird too because when he's in the memory, he like walks around.
Mhm.
And he goes into the ladies' bathroom and he thinks he's having sex in his memory, but he's just having sex on like to the floor. Like it's and he like broke his nose, like kissing the
Yeah.
floor, and like he broke something else on the floor, and like the whole restaurant is just like screaming in bloody
Mhm.
terror. And that's the only part we get where they're like, oh, his eyes are blue.
Yeah. Well, can you imagine walking into the bathroom and this man is just aggressively humping the floor?
I know, and it's not like a Denny's or something. It's like an actual restaurant.
I don't know if I would be okay with that at Denny's either.
I think it would be such a mind fuck, and you would ignore the present, just getting hung up on reality. And that's what he did. Like, I think it was like all week. He was just like going into his memories or whatever.
Yeah, because he's like, I feel great, I'm happy again. But then his brother shows up and his house is disgusting. He hasn't showered in days. Like, he's gross.
Yeah,
So.
there's like mayonnaise out and like pickles and stuff.
Yeah, he like threw pickles at the wall. This man.
Yeah. Yep, just a normal day for Joey. That scene was like so wild. I was like, I think my mouth is just like up, and I was like, what is happening in this film right now? It's great. Yeah.
It's like funny to think back on, but I was angry reading it because of his like thoughts beforehand. Like, I was just so mad.
I was kind of like, dude, you deserve that. But you also traumatized like a whole restaurant of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Denny's, not Waffle Houses though. Waffle House is a little classier.
Is it?
I guess. I don't know. I did hear Alex was watching a video about Waffle House, and they have like their own record company or something. Like, and people sing Waffle House songs. It's very weird.
That's odd.
And yeah, they are all about like having a bunch of locations instead of making one location bigger, because they want everybody to interact with each other. That's why they make them so small.
Oh yeah.
I remember I went to one with my parents, I think like last year sometime, and I was like, do you guys have like fruit cups or something? Or like a little bowl of fruit? And the poor waiter is like at a high school, and he was like, no, we have like lemons. I can give you a bowl of lemons. And I was like, it's okay. It's like you tried. Yeah, I don't think it would ever happen in a Waffle House. Let me see what other questions I had. Oh yeah, if anybody wants to share a memory, if you want to feel nostalgic, you guys can share a memory you would like to revisit if you took the drops. Where would you go? I know some people wouldn't even take the drops. BookTube wise, I think one of my favorite memories on BookTube is Hollow Weekend.
Are you gonna talk about the what's his name?
Tiny Tim.
Yeah.
It's Tiny Tim and the Cannibal.
Those are both so funny.
They're like iconic. They're like iconic times live.
I know.
I wonder if Erin still has the Cannibal talk on her channel stuff.
Maybe. That was so funny.
That was so long. I think like that was like 2 hours.
Of Cannibal Talk, yeah.
Yeah. And you were just like, I'm sorry. I think I would have to hold my son as a baby again. Cheesy but true. Aww. That's cute.
Are we picking like one or just a memory? Like, this doesn't have to be the one I would go back to.
No, you can just pick a memory. Could you imagine if I just went back to Tiny Tim?
That's the best moment in Katrina's life.
Not holding like a baby kitten Beans.
I know. I was like, I kind of want to like meeting Winston for the first time was like one of my favorite things because he like got excited when he saw me for the first time and like he ignored everybody else, but he saw me and ran up to the glass and started rubbing up against it. And it was just so cute. So he picked me.
That's adorable. Aw, Beans is like the only kitten from his litter that let me pick him up. And he immediately was like rubbing like on me and stuff. And I was like, okay, I guess you're mine. But the other 4, they were 5 black cats, and then 1 tabby was the runt, and I wanted the runt. But my neighbor was like, please just take 1. Because they literally are all huge, like Beans, and like running around. But yeah, he was the only one. And yeah, he is so goofy when he was a kitten too. If you look at pictures of him, his ears were giant and like his paws are big because he's like a bigger cat. But like when he was a kitten, he was like he still had the same size ears. And I'm like, he looked so goofy. Like there's pictures of him with a really long neck and stuff. Like it was just weird. He's like an awkward teenager. And then like I think I had another question on here too. I forgot to type it up. But the nostalgia stuff in it, it was mentioned like, and then the author's note, he talked about like after the pandemic, like when he got to see friends or during the pandemic, whenever he saw friends, they only talked about times like before the pandemic. They're like, remember when we weren't in a pandemic? That was great. And like, remember all this? And I was thinking about that too, because I saw some friends I've known for a really long time, like at a Super Bowl party. And one of my friends was literally like, remember this time? Remember this time? Remember this time? And stuff. And I was like, yeah. I was like, are you... I'm not gonna remember that. Like I've known you for 15 years. Like I'm just gonna forget it. It was like he was talking about a house party, and he was like, "You're supposed to be working the door," and I was like, "What are you talking about? Working a door?" I was like, "I never worked a door at a party," and he was like, "Yeah." And then somebody's stuff got stolen or music equipment got stolen, and I was just like, "What are you talking about, man?" I remember a totally different thing that night. Then, I mean, I heard about it later, but I was like, I had no idea any of that was even going on. But that happens all the time with like my friends here because they're like, I've just known them so long. So anytime they get together, like, remember that time, you know, like over and over and over again. And I was like, I felt this author and I felt like where he was coming from too with the whole nostalgia stuff and how like it can be toxic too that way. The Alex talks about this. Well, I don't know which thing he wrote. He wrote a paper about nostalgia, and he was like people on ships, like fishing trips and stuff. Like if they started like being reminiscent, they would be like isolated, like they had the plague and stuff because people were like, you can't talk about home, you can't talk about like stuff because we're like out to sea, and because it's like contagious, it like spreads.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. But I mean, I like to be nostalgic about like television and stuff like that. It's fine. Also, when people are like little, I think it's fun to be like, remember when you were like a little baby? That was cute. So yeah, I get that. I get those parts of nostalgia, but constantly being like, remember when you were in high school and you played football or whatever, you know, like it's like that is very much in the past. Hello. We are, I think that's it. You gave it 1 star. Gave it 3
Yep.
stars. Would you read from this author again? If
Maybe. I'm not going to go out of my way to, but I could be convinced.
Yeah. I was going to pull up his other book. Well, Rose actually just read one too.
I didn't read the whole author's note. I just read like the first page of it, and I was like, I don't really care about author's notes. But he said that he has another one that has like the serum eye drop stuff in it. And like, so that's referenced in the other one. So it might be a similar concept.
Maybe like human, I think it's human sacrifices is the one he mentions. That one has a really cool cover too. Let me try to find it. But Rose just did another review for It's the Corruption of Philip Toils. And she gave it 4 stars. What's it about? This is the 5th book. Oh, she's read 5 books.
Wow.
I've read by this child, probably the most disturbing one because you get into the mind of child sexual predators. Oh, I'm usually hesitant to read books with this subject matter, but I'm glad I took a risk. Yeah.
The book he talks about is called 2222. And he says that there's elements in common, the blue cloud serum and the eye stuff and whatever. He says the tales are unrelated, but they have those elements in common.
Interesting.
So maybe that one.
Interesting. Yeah, but if anybody's looking for a new author with lots of novellas, apparently has 5, and they're pretty disturbing. And he's indie, I think. Independent. I would read something else from him. Yeah, I think he'd be like an easy thing, like to knock out if you're looking to like read something for a readathon or something.
It was such a quick read, but like I'm absolutely not going out of my way to read something. I think I only would if somebody told me that I would like it.
Yeah. I'll let you know if I read anything else. Let's see. I think you like this one.
Yeah.
This book sounds very positive, Mrs. Peacock. This book we talked about, not positive. Yeah, I don't think I'll read from him again. Yeah. Maybe if I was in like, tight situation with like readathon stuff or like to get points or something, I would. But, get your KU, get your use out of your Kindle Unlimited. I think they're all in Kindle Unlimited. If you're looking to, stick it to Amazon. I always say that. I'm like, read as many KU books as possible. Get your money's worth for that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us for this really interesting, thought-provoking book of Fire on Memory Lane by Felix I.D. DeMero. And again, all of his books are on Kindle Unlimited. And next month pick is Strega by Johanna Leike Holm. This is a Norwegian translated work. I think it's like a witchy folk horror vibes. And my co-host for this is Crystal from Fiber Artsy. And I'm super excited for this one. It's very, very different, and it's very different from this one. And yeah, I hope you guys will be joining us then. And I hope you guys have a great night. And thank you so much, Lexi, for joining me. And I am sorry to put you through it, but club books are cursed, right?
It was a quick read. It's fine.
I know, that's what I said. I was like, at least it was quick. Well, I hope you guys have a great night. Thank you. Bye.